The Bible is for me. You can come in and sit down. We're just waiting on Tim.
Yeah, come on.
Tim's
Don't do
ready.
me like that.
We'll get started.
Have patience, don't be in such a hurry.
If you were on Kyle Sheen and bet that Tim would sing first in this episode,
Oh, we started? Dang.
then you are a big winner.
Well,
and also, that was a dumb bet, but worked out. Because typically I sing way before you.
Typically, you're the only one that sings.
Typically, 50% of this podcast sings.
God, I hated that song as a kid. Did your parents ever sing you that?
No, but I do feel I got some of those type of songs.
Yeah, I can't believe you didn't get that one. It's like such a churchy one. Do you even?
Patience.
We said our version was be patient.
Be patient.
Be patient.
Yeah.
Don't be in such a hurry.
No, I had a.
Do you know that song?
I know I've heard it, but it's not one that's like logged. The one I'll sing sometimes that Rach did not get, and she finds it really odd, was "Listen to your mother,
Right.
She gives good advice."
Right. I didn't have that
Never
one.
Make your father.
So you're
give an order twice.
gonna do the whole thing, right?
Hearken,
You didn't let me do mine.
away. Anytime you're teaching the kids a song that says "hearken,"
Right.
you know you're on to something. You're connecting with the youth.
Yeah. Well, what's great for me in that song that like have patience or be patient, whatever.
Yeah.
You would get that sung to you when you were not being patient, and you know
Yeah.
what? You know what helps the situation
Singing.
so much
Singing.
is singing to someone about
About the
whatever
thing
it
they're
is.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
so annoyed. So you're gonna
Yeah.
stop the whole show and sing me a song. Oh boy, that got me fired up.
That's really funny because I do that to Rach. Actually, I sing whenever she's like stressed or anxious or something. I sing, "Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier," and it has never once helped.
Not worked or helped. Yeah.
Yeah, it's never once helped, but it does feel right in the moment.
Oh right.
To
Yeah.
sing a song about it. Maybe that's the Disney movie in me that is, they're just so deeply rooted. We're not singing enough sort of like moral songs to kids anymore. And I think it's really starting to show. If we're not singing about our morality, do we even care? Do we even care about it if you're not making up songs about it?
Yeah. I don't know.
I think these are words that everyone should hearken that I'm saying right now.
I think I'm so traumatized by all that stuff, and it's coming back now as I hash it out here in this therapy session.
Yeah, thanks for coming in today.
Did not like that as a kid. Will not do that to my kids.
Your hour has started, though, unfortunately. So you're running out of time.
Okay.
You've sung for a lot of it.
Okay.
That's what my therapist notes. He sang again. I blacked out, tried to forget. Timer went off. I sent him home.
Collected $125.
Welcome to the Bible's Funny podcast, everybody. This is Cheat Day Devos. We're continuing our study through Numbers. A book oft overlooked.
Yeah, and today's visit.
Yeah.
We have one of the best stories. One of the best like characters. It's a super cool, super fun moment, and it's buried in this little treasure box.
Buried in Numbers.
In Numbers.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is really like when we talk about things I really love and I'm very passionate about with Bible is Funny. It's like getting into the book of Numbers because there's a lot of, wait for it, numbers that you have to work through. And so, but then you get a great story like the one we're going to talk about today, which is super cool. So don't overlook these Old Testament books.
Yeah. But do the Cheat Day Devos thing, and then you don't have to read
That's why this is
everything.
the perfect solution. Because we're just going to sort of shine this flashlight where you should and then make puns out of the rest. This is, like I said, Cheat Day Devos. My name's Anthony. That's Tim.
Hey.
If you're new to the pod, we're so glad you're here. What we do is we read through sections of the Bible and we discuss them here with you, our friends. We call it Cheat Day Devos because it's sort of like you're studying the Bible, but in the same way that you're like technically getting protein when you eat a Snickers bar. But like you can't live on that protein probably, but maybe you could.
Snickers bar. That's different.
Because
I think you can.
When you're I used to when I was a teenager, I was like meal replacement for me.
For sure.
Was the big Snicker bar.
Yeah.
I was like, there's peanuts in it.
You can't afford a whole, like a protein bar.
No.
Plus, it's like cardboard.
Yeah, gross.
You gotta enjoy your
no nougat
meal replacement.
It took all the nougat out of the protein bars. Because that's what we call it, cheat day divas. Because Tim and I, we're not scholars of anything in particular.
Oh,
students of everything, scholars of none.
So well said.
Yeah, TM. I like that. So yeah, this is not, if you're new here, if someone invited you, we're so glad you're here. If you could fill out a guest card before you leave. But we just like to set the table that this is not the podcast where you're getting like, oh, let me tell you what the original Hebrew word for this was. And then King Felix actually twisted it at the Council of Shagubala. That's not what we do, because we're unfamiliar with the Council of Shagubala. But if you want to, put that in the comments or something, you're free to do that. So we're going to continue now today through Numbers.
Yeah, and just so you know, if you do put those notes in, I'm not going to read them.
Tim doesn't read. I will, but Tim will not. We're starting in Numbers 22 today, and boy, are we jumping! This is just straight into the Fred.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Pretty exciting.
This is fun.
How do you want to approach 22? You want to kind of give, like, to me, give the bullets of the story.
Let's just get in, like, because kind of give an overview of what's happening. But like, there's so much text in here that's funny. Like,
it's just so
the details of the story. This is why we're here. So if we're gonna skim through anything, it's the other stuff.
We're not skimming through that.
No, it's everything else in Numbers. But this one's really good. This title, the Numbers 22 is about Balaam. And Balaam's donkey. So you'll remember this story if you've paid attention in Bible school or anything, but like, this is where the donkey talks to him.
The donkey talks.
So the chapter of this title, again, I am reading the Message version of the Bible because it's easier for me. It doesn't have pictures, which I'm a little upset about, but it does have words that I understand. So
don't worry, he has reached out and emailed them about the picture situation.
We're getting there. But the online version doesn't have it. So and so they title all the chapters, which is fun. But this one's just called Balaam. And then my side note is the chapter where God communicates, like my wife, when deciding on where to eat for my birthday dinner. We'll explain in a second.
Your wife for your birthday dinner.
Yes.
Gosh, that's funny. Okay, well, let me talk a little bit, and maybe you fill in some of the gaps I missed.
You usually do.
Balaam is a fascinating character. Balaam's donkey might be the story you know. Balaam, here's something I think that matters, not an Israelite.
Correct.
So let me start there. He's a prophet, but is not an Israelite. And the way the story is presented in Numbers, we have no reason not to believe that he's talking to God. Right. In the same way God is represented in all previous stories, Balaam is speaking to God. Mm-hmm. And so to me, right off the jump, I think that's like under discussed.
Oh, for sure.
You have a prophet from another people group, which again, if you've been following the story, is a little bit ground shaking for us to go like, wait.
Gonna put some people in a tizzy when they think about that, and they go, no, but we own God. We have owned God, and you don't. And your Bible tells you that you don't own God either. That's right. So that God is speaking to people outside of this particular group. So wild, it's in your Bible. So if everything's true in the Bible, like that's there.
Numbers 22.
Folks. He's known as a sorcerer, or like sorcerer/prophet, like this sort of magician outside of the Israelite clan.
But again, they have very specific ways, if you pay attention to your Bible, of referring to God or how God is communicating, and it is consistent with other forms. Mm-hmm. So there's no reason to think this is like some other entity that he's Balaam speaking to throughout the story, which I think is right off the jump fascinating. I did a little bit of extra research. And there's like an early Jewish text that says there were 7 documented people like Balaam that were like that were from other people groups that were known to be communicating open, like just the way Moses was with God, which is pretty interesting right from the jump. So Balaam is this prophet. He is sought out by this king to curse the Israelites.
Because he's standing like kind of on this cliff. He sees what the Israelites have done with these other people groups.
A lot of them now.
Yeah, a lot of them. And there's a lot of them sort of outside their village, camp, tribe, clan, whatever it is. And they're like, so this guy is scared of what they're going to do. So he wants them cursed. so that he feels like he can live peacefully. And so he can't do the cursing. He wants somebody else. He wants to outsource the cursing to somebody who is great at cursing.
Yeah.
I find myself to be pretty good at cursing, but it's a different kind of cursing.
You've been picking up this as a side hustle.
Yeah.
And then somebody curse at?
There he is. He's right in front of me.
There's the guy.
You're usually my target. That's not fair. Yeah, so like he's trying to outsource this to Balaam, who is good at cursing people. We know that now.
Well, and so we get that this is the base premise. So there's even like an understanding kind of among these non-Jewish kings that this guy's got some sort of connection to the spiritual realm and to God, as it turns out. So he's sought out by this king. The king sends some people. It seems like this interaction's maybe happened before. I'm putting that in there a little bit, but just like, hey, go get Balaam, I got a guy for cursing. Go get our guy. So they go out to get him, and Balaam like pauses and prays about it, and is like, hey, I can't do anything outside of what God tells me I can do. Like, and again, let that sink in a little bit. Like the guy's like legit. Like don't let your mind go like, oh, non-Jewish prophet must be bad. He's presented with a king with resources and power, and he says, I can't just say yes right away. Let me talk to God about it. She talks to God about it, and God's like, no, you can't do that. So he sends a group away.
Well, now you're getting it's the story.
That's what I'm doing. I was catching them up.
Well, yeah, that is what I'm reading. That's what's in here. We're not just catching up. You're skipping through.
What did I skip?
You're paraphrasing the whole story now.
Oh, I'm not trying to paraphrase. I'm trying to be thorough.
Well, you read the text. It's here. That's what we do.
Do it. Give it to me.
You started to summarize, and then you just said, well, I'm just going to take the whole thing.
I'm off and running. I'm excited about this
see
story.
That. So Balak. Is it Balak? That's what we're going to call him. Son of Zippor. He's the guy. So he saw what Israel done to the Amorites. That's what it says, verse 2. And then he outsources this thing.
Midianite king, if I remember.
Midian. Yeah. So he speaks to the leaders of Midian. Look, this mob is going to clean us out. A bunch of crows picking a carcass clean. That's what he thinks the Israelites are going to do to his people.
It's interesting. It seems like a scarcity numbers game. It seems like
numbers. I see what that's where we're at.
Like you're looking at a vastness, and you're like, they're going to eat all our food. It's kind of the vibe.
Yeah.
It wasn't. I don't think he mentions like they're going to slit our throats. He's like, no, there's going to be too many. There's not enough food for all these people. Is the vibe.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good take. Maybe he doesn't think they're going to kill him, but whatever. So they go. Balak's emissary said, look, a people has come out of Egypt and they're all over the place and they're pressing hard on me. Come and curse them for me. This is the message that they're going to have to give to Balaam. And they say, maybe I can beat them. We'll attack and drive them out of the country. And then he says, you have a reputation. This very mob vibes.
Yeah,
you have a reputation. Those who stay blessed, those you bless, stay blessed. Those who curse, stay cursed.
Yeah.
Like it's beautiful and scary. And then they say, so then they have like a fee. So they're like going to pay him to curse the Israelites and give him money for this. So very mob vibes here. Anyway, that's where we're at. So then those people go to Balaam. I'll summarize that part. They go to him, like the emissaries go, and Balaam says, nah, I'm good.
Right.
And then they leave, and then they come back. Another group comes back, like even more noble comes back.
I want to say after praying though too, right? Doesn't Balaam, like he prays and is like, all right, I got a job offer. Let's see if I can do it. Because this is what I think is so funny is like, because you see this all the time. The thing that came to mind was like Warren Buffett a little bit of like, how does he know what things are going to make money? And he's like, oh, I do the stuff that makes money. That's what I invest in. But they're like, he's a wizard. How does he know? And that's what I think I hear from Balaam here is like, yeah, I just talked to God. And then God says like, oh, it's going to be good for them. And I say like, yeah, it's going to be good for them. So he's like, I'm not going to come out here and pretend like I know I got to go talk to the boss, and then I'll come talk to you.
Yeah.
And I like this. I like that approach from Balaam. I wanted to throw that out there.
Verse 12 says, God said to Balaam, don't go with them and don't curse the others. They're a blessed people. Yeah. So the next morning, Balaam got up and told Balak's nobles, go back home. God refuses to give me permission to go with you.
Yeah.
So they go home, tell Balak, hey, he wasn't coming. So then he sends another group, and a higher ranking group of people comes out next. And then Balaam answered those people and said, even if Balak gave me his house stuffed with silver and gold, I wouldn't be able to defy the orders of my God to do anything, whether big or little. But come along and stay with me tonight as the others did, and I'll see what God will say to me this time. Maybe God changed God's mind, perhaps. But like, I just love that. It must feel so good to be so good at cursing people that you've just got lines of folks coming in, like offering to pay you to do that. Oh, that'd be such a gift.
Yeah, there's a real twinkle in your eye when you see you talking about this.
Wish I could do it.
Gig. Yeah, I like it. This was truly for me as well, like taking a look at this story and going like, I just co-sign like all of Balaam's moves here. Because again, he just has an awareness that like, guys, it's not going to work. Like, I can't just go with you and decide who's blessed and who's here. I'm the messenger in this thing. And he's like sort of standing by it. Like, I don't care who he sent to me. I can't make it happen.
Well, and based on that, when you say you co-sign off what Balaam's doing, I kind of am a little critical of what God's doing here.
We haven't gotten
like,
it yet.
I know we're about to.
Okay.
So
and it's not your first time being critical of what God's done in these
I'm just
stories.
open and honest about it.
You're saying that like it's a new position for you.
I'm just saying this one in particular. So God came. Okay, so the new set of people comes back. Yeah. Balaam prays, wakes up. God came to Balaam that night and said, "Since these men have come all this way to see you, go ahead and go with them. But make sure you do absolutely nothing other than what I tell you." Okay. God, you didn't know this was going to happen. You wanted, since they came all this way. Well, they came all this way the first time, but that's okay. Besides the point. Okay, sure, fine. I'll go. So Balaam goes. Balaam got up in the morning, saddled his donkey, and went off with the nobleman from Moab. As he was going, though, God's anger flared. And it seems like why?
Right.
It seems like that could be something God could get under control. Maybe with some therapy and counseling. I don't know. So the angel of God, I'm just going to start reading. The angel of God stood in the road to block his way. Balaam was riding his donkey, accompanied by his two servants. When the donkey saw the angel blocking the road and brandishing a sword, she veered off the road and into a ditch. Balaam beat the donkey and got her back on the road. But as they were going through a vineyard with a fence on either side, the donkey again saw God's angel blocking the way and veered into the fence, crushing Balaam's foot against the fence. Balaam hit her again. God's angel blocked the way yet again, a very narrow passage this time. There was no getting through on the right or left. Seeing the angel, Balaam's donkey sat down under him. Balaam lost his temper and he beat the donkey with a stick. Then God gave speech to the donkey. This is where it gets really good.
Yeah.
She said to Balaam, "What have I ever done to you that you have beat me these 3 times?" And Balaam said, "Because you've been playing games with me. If I had a sword, I would have killed you by now." And I love having this like real conversation with your donkey, because now you're talking with your donkey and you probably don't even realize that you're not only talking with her, you're arguing with her.
I think I love, yes, everything you just said. And I love that, like, it's just immediate. Like, if my dog started talking tomorrow, this is 100% the response. There would be no like, my dog's talking. It would just be like, yes, we've known each other. I'm glad we can just do this now. I don't need a moment to like process. No, I knew you could talk. I knew you were trying to say things. It's just easier now.
Yeah, I've been doing your voice for so long.
I've been doing your voice. Now we just, okay, good. And I think if you have an animal in your life you love, this. You know, it would just be like, oh, good. Now I hear your voice out loud, and let's talk. Balaam goes right into threatening to kill, which is like not where I would start the conversation.
Well, he doesn't threaten to kill. He said, like, what? He's having this argument. Like, what do you mean? Listen, you're lucky I'm only beating you right now, which is not okay. You shouldn't hit your animals.
Yeah.
But he's saying like, what are you talking about? You stopped working in the middle of working. Your one job that you had to do, and you stopped doing it. What else am I supposed to do? And like,
I love her comment right away. Have I ever done this before? Well, do you think there's maybe something worth considering, Balaam? And if I'm doing this right now?
And if I'm Balaam, I'm going to go, yeah, have you ever broken my foot before either? You crushed it on that fence. You've never done that either.
This is sort of like when my dog sometimes will sort of like look at a wall and be like, maybe bark at it or growl a little bit, and you're like, stop that. And I feel like the dog's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm keeping the ghosts away. Like, have I ever growled at a wall before? I'm clearly doing something here.
Right.
And you're just like, oh, stop that. Like, come on, use your brain. That's what my dog. And then I'd be like, you're lucky.
Right.
You're lucky I
don't have my
under
sword.
Control right now.
Yeah. So then the donkey says again, am I not your trusty donkey who you've ridden for years right up until now? Have I ever done anything like this to you before? Have I? I love the extra. Have I? Balaam?
You don't think you're vulnerable?
Answer the question.
On my back?
Answer the question. Have I?
Has this ever happened before?
Then God helped Balaam see what was going on. He saw God's angel blocking the way, brandishing a sword. Balaam fell to the ground, his face in the dirt. God's angel said to him, why have you beaten your poor donkey these 3 times? I have come here to block your way because you're getting way ahead of yourself. The donkey saw me and turned away from me these 3 times. If she hadn't, I would have killed you by this time, but not the donkey. I would have let her off. And it's like, okay. So the angel of the Lord comes and says, I would have killed you for not seeing me, even though I knew you couldn't see me. I just would have killed you. Okay.
There's a lot of hypothetical murders.
Right. But
if things were different, I would have killed you just now.
Like, angel of the Lord, you could have revealed yourself. You knew I couldn't see you, and you're threatening to have, you were going to kill me for not having seen you. Like, guys, just, if you're going to block the way, make yourself known. I can't read your mind.
Right.
Balaam said to God's angel, I have sinned. I had no idea you were standing in the road blocking my way. If you don't like what I'm doing, I'll head back. But God's angel said to Balaam, go ahead and go with them, but only say what I tell you to say. Absolutely no other word. That's what he was doing already.
Right.
That was the plan.
Right.
That was what Balaam's literally only doing what God said. And then all of a sudden God gets pissed, puts an angel in Balaam's way and that he can't see. Mm-hmm. And then he's pissed at Balaam again for not seeing the angel and then goes, oh, never mind. Just carry on with what you were doing.
Go on ahead. Right. It's definitely confusing.
Make up your mind.
Right.
Where do you want to go to dinner?
Right.
Do you want to go to a place that I want to go, or do you want to pick out a place? And don't say you don't care, because you do care.
You definitely care.
I can't read your mind.
Yeah.
This is my therapy session.
Mm-hmm. I do. Before you get too far away from it, I've always really loved the NIV here. In 30, the donkey said to Balaam, am I not your own donkey, which you have always ridden to this day? Have I been in the habit of doing this to you? And the NIV records in verse 30 these words, no, he said. And what I love about that is that he he has to concede the point to his donkey. The donkey started talking 4 seconds ago, and he's already like kind of outwitted.
He's lost his first argument.
Nah, you're right. Like, I think I get what you're saying. Mm-hmm. You know, like, it's a very mature, like, that's what I just love about this story, is that you're coming in the middle, like a donkey just talked. That's usually the tale. You know, you use Shrek jokes and all these different things. All perfectly acceptable. I love them. But what I love is the nuance of, like, if your animal started speaking, you're in the middle of a relationship. Like, it would not be, you didn't start just now.
Yeah.
You've already had fights. Like, you've already had moments where you had to train this donkey, and then the donkey had to go like, I don't like that saddle. And you communicated all these things non-verbally. You have a history. And that's, I think, what we see here is that it's both ways. Even Balaam going, I mean, you're a really good donkey. Like, at the end of the day, you're a good donkey. And I got to take your opinion into account here.
And now that I know we can talk to each other,
right,
I don't have to hit you anymore to get you on the path.
We can just communicate.
We can just chat.
Yeah.
So moving on, Balaam makes his way to Balak. So Balak went out to meet him in the Moabite town that was on the banks of the Arnon, right on the boundary of his land. Balak said to Balaam, didn't I send an urgent message for help? Why didn't you come when I called? Do you think I can't pay you enough? And Balaam said to Balak, well, I'm here now, but I can't tell you just anything. I can only speak words that God gives me, no others. And then probably was like, God told me to say that. In that part too. Like God, yep.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm, God told me to cough just now too.
Well, what a realization. Like, it's one of those things when you're like, I was on a road I got on my donkey, I was heading down the road, and I came to find out there was an angel of the Lord with a sword there waiting to kill me. Probably a flaming sword. It doesn't say, but we can assume. Now, I got to imagine the rest of Balaam's trip is like, did you guys, is that, okay, we're good there? Nothing's over there? Like, what unseen dangers are you now, like, it says, like, God opens Balaam's eyes for a moment to see that somebody who's, like, on his team, theoretically, was, like, getting ready to kill him. So now, I just imagine, yes, he's talking to Balak. He's saying that over and over again. Like, I can't say, I didn't say anything. I'm not saying anything I'm not supposed to say. If I'm hey, Balak, but also anyone who else might be here. I'm not saying, I hope I'm saying, I'm going to stop talking until I'm confident there are more words I can say.
And that's how my arguments with my wife go too. I'm just...
Whatever else is here.
I'm not saying anything because whatever I say, I'm going to get in trouble
I know I'm talking to you, but I know I'm talking to other things that I don't know what they are or where they're coming from. And I want to speak to those for a moment and say, am I not a good donkey? Have I not done good things at other times in our life? Yeah, Balaam is I got to imagine, got some concerns about the environment around him at this point. But he shows up, Balak's a little miffed. Story continues on in 23.
Yeah, so we're in 23, and it's kind of not a whole lot of super fun stuff in here. I don't know how many things you want to talk about, but he goes. He's like looking out, like they like do a little sacrifice or whatever, like offering kind of thing, have a little ceremony, and then Balaam won't curse them.
Yeah,
is what it comes down to.
In fact, blesses them.
And in fact, goes as far as blessing them. Yeah. And so there's this whole speech and whatever. So Balak said to Balaam, "What's this? I have brought you here to curse my enemies, and all you've done is bless them." Balaam answered, Balaam answered, "Don't I have to be careful to say what God gives me to say?" So like, and then he says, Balak said to him, "Go with me to another place from which you can only see the outskirts of their camp. You won't be able to see the whole camp. From there, curse them for my sake." Like, okay, you won't curse them here. What if we just kind of go?
A little curse.
What if we just go over here?
Maybe a big curse.
Yeah. Just like go to the edge. Maybe you won't feel so bad if you're just cursing like a couple of them, like the ones on the edge. Maybe the slow ones. Just curse the slow. It's fine.
They're furthest from the water. They're dirtier. Just curse them.
So then he does that. So he goes to this other spot, and then Balaam he won't curse him. And so he does this whole thing again where he blesses them again. Yeah. And Balak says to Balaam, "Well, if you can't curse them, at least don't bless them."
Yeah.
Which I think that's reasonable. You got hired to do a job. Right. At least don't do the opposite of that job. If you're just going to not do it, fine. Don't make my work harder now.
One thing I thought about in this chapter was it had the feeling of like when you bring out a like a contractor or something, like a plumber, and like to fix a problem, and then they find more problems, and it's like it's not really their fault, but you're also like, man, I came here to get you to fix the faucet, and now I have to like redo the whole pipes. And it's like, well, they didn't make the problem with the pipes, they're just there to tell you that this is the issue you're facing. And that was the energy of this. Imagine you bring this, you sought this person out, you're getting ready to pay them money, you bring them in, and they're like, oh yeah, you thought you had a little problem, and you actually have like a really big problem. This is going to be a huge issue for you.
Right. So Balaam moving on says, replied to Balak, well, like, when he said, at least don't bless him. He said, "Didn't I tell you earlier? All God speaks, and only what He speaks, I speak." Which is a funny sentence. Yeah. But Balak said to Balaam, please let me take you to another place. Maybe we can find the right place in God's eyes where you'll be able to curse them for me. And yeah, this like cursing impotence seems to be a location issue, not. Yeah. Yeah, that's the problem. Let's go to a new spot. I also just
have such a sensitivity to Balaam. So you're looking at a king. At this time, it's a brutal time in history. Like the kings be killing people. They don't need a reason. They just kill you. So I'm looking at a king who I'm trying to kind of like do enough by to theoretically stay alive. And maybe I'm putting that thought into Balaam's head. But I got to think, I'm walking around with a king. I've already kind of miffed him. And now I'm like trying to do enough to stay alive. I also am now aware there could be an angel nearby, like with a sword to my head. like my donkey is not letting me know anymore. We're not on speaking terms. There are dangers seen and unseen all around me. So the sentence you just uttered would be the kind of sentence I'd be saying. I say no, God say to me through. That's the way I'm speaking.
God's word's on mine.
God's word, my speak. What do you want me to say at this point? I feel like I'm going to die 4 different ways.
Yeah, maybe God doesn't use like punctuation in grammar either.
So they go to like a third or fourth location. Yeah, so he just keeps blessing them.
Yeah, so then we go to Numbers 20.
It's actually pretty poetic and creative. If you've not read this, I mean, it's like pretty like poetic
and creative. Lines. That's what you said.
It would be both poetic and creative. God say words.
Numbers 24. So by now, it's verse 1, and by now Balaam realized that God wanted to bless Israel. Okay. Got it. So he didn't work in any sorcery as he had done earlier. And then he kind of does this whole thing again. And then Balak lost his temper with Balaam. He shook his fist. He said to Balaam, I got you in here to curse my enemies. I'm shaking my fist. So you can see it. I read the script notes. Now, bless them 3 times. Get out of here. Go home. I told you I would pay you well, but you're getting nothing. You can blame God.
Yeah.
It's funny.
I mean, I might be putting my own thoughts into this, but I think Balaam heard you can go home and was like, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Also, like, I hope there's nothing along the path. Good to know, just for our own sake, that like, if we believe these stories, then there could be an angel of God in this room ready to cut my head off with a sword that I can't see.
At any point.
If anybody's anxious about anything, just remember that real threat.
That's why I try to keep animals around, because they seem to be aware, and I try to keep them in front of me. No, I did wonder in the run between 23 and 24 and like all of it, because the beginning of 24, Balaam is blessing more. I wonder if like anything else, this prophet like job where you're blessing and cursing, I wonder if you get warmed up and then you start like, starts flowing a little bit more naturally, you know? Like anything you do, you get, you know, the first time you do it, you just start, you're kind of clunky, and then you get into like a rhythm.
Yeah, you're like a little rusty. Like you go out to play tennis and you're like, I haven't done a swing for a while, but like muscle memory kicks in and you're like, oh, now I'm grooving.
I wonder if you're a prophet and you're just like, and they're gonna multiply and attack their enemies. Oh, I see you over there. You're gonna paint something. It's gonna be beautiful. Everybody's gonna love it. Oh, in the back, yeah, that hair's gonna keep growing. It's gonna be gorgeous.
God, I hope there's no prophets that sound like that.
And you're just like flowing, and you're like, oh, that guy's he's gonna die. This one's gonna die.
Why?
Just flowing out of you.
Is yours from New Orleans? Is that your prophets in your head?
Yeah,
they come from New Orleans.
Yeah, it happens during Mardi Gras typically, and you're flowing, and you're
Fat Tuesday.
King's cake. Yeah, I think that's what happens to Balaam. He gets in now they're taking him to different locations. He's like, cool, let's do this. He's vibing. Maybe got some music going. He's like,
so
I'll bless everybody. Everybody's getting blessed.
I like here that we get a little bit of an introduction into what it's like to be this like sorcerer or whatever we want to call him, prophet. Because there's different sort of categories of what he can do or what he will do. So we've got the cursing. We know he's really good at cursing. And then he does the blessing thing, which is a pretty good blessing. Yeah. But then he realized, you know, we get to the beginning. At the beginning of the chapter, he says he didn't work in any sorcery as he had done earlier. So sorcery was a category. But then Balaam, it said Balaam spotted Amalek and delivered an oracle message. So this is another category, evidently. And this is at the end of chapter 24. So he said, Amalek, you're in first place among nations right now, but you're going to come in last, ruined. Stop. Yeah. Then he says he saw the Kenites and delivered his oracle message to them. Mm-hmm. Your home is in a nice, secure place, like a nest high on the face of a cliff. Nice. Still, you Kenites will look stupid when Asher takes you prisoner.
Dang.
Stop. Finally, Balaam spoke his final oracle message. Doom! Emphasis added, but it's got an exclamation point. Doom! Who stands a chance when God starts in? Sea peoples, raiders from across the sea will harass Asher and Eber, but they'll also come to nothing, just like all the rest. Balaam got up and went home. Balak also went on his way. End scene.
tough meeting for Balak. I mean, this tough day at the office. Mm-hmm. Came home, dropped the briefcase. Just like, it was a bad day.
And then he went home.
Bad day. He goes home and
has a glass of wine.
He's got to.
Puts his feet up on the couch.
Like, this did not go the way I wanted it to.
Yeah.
So Balaam blesses Israel and curses everybody else. And is almost killed.
Well, he didn't curse them. He just gave a message. He said, "This is what I see."
That's true. Yeah, it's just like this is what's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm just looking through the window and reporting back.
That's right.
That's all. These are just the facts.
That's right.
You will look stupid. Mm-hmm. That's a fact, according to God.
A big question I have always with this story: did Balaam and his donkey talk ever again?
I have to imagine. Yeah.
Or was it just like a one-time?
Yeah, I have to imagine.
I got to think you're chatting.
Yeah.
Like in his house, it's 2 glasses of wine. And the donkey's
well, what just kind of sucks is if other people can't hear the donkey, and then you're having this conversation at home with your donkey, and then everybody else is like, who you talking to? What's do
you think they hear hee-haws at all? Or do you think Yeah. And he's laughing. What did he say? Nothing.
Sorry.
He's not talking about you.
Numbers 25. Okay.
Oh, wait. Sorry. 24.
Oh, my gosh.
24 in the NIV. This is worth saying. This was like when I think you said shaking fist was theirs. In NIV in verse 10, it says, Balak's anger burned against Balaam. He struck his hands together and said to him, I summoned you to curse my enemies, but you. So to me, there's no other way to read that than like, I wanted you to curse. And it's like, maybe he was Italian a little bit, speaking with his hands. And I appreciate that.
Right.
All right, 25.
Numbers 25. Okay, so here's I have to put a little disclaimer, I think, because if you're listening with your kids, this might not be appropriate. For like maybe skip through.
Stuff happens here in 25.
Stuff happens, and I get to say stuff that I normally am not allowed to say.
Oh wow.
So this is why I get excited about these chapters.
Okay.
So just if you got kids in the car, maybe if you're one of the kids, but if you're one of the kids, it's in the Bible.
It's in the Bible story, yeah.
You get to hear it. Numbers 25, titled in the Message version, "The Orgy at Shittim."
I pronounced it Shittim, but
that's weird. Why did you pronounce it like that? It says
I feel like it
says Shittim.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's
a little
region-based dialect kind of thing.
I hear that a lot, so that's kind of what I'm used to repeating back. Anyway, it's in the Bible.
That's
folks.
What happens. So this is after the Balaam story, and there's some relations that happen.
Yeah. Well, here I'll just get into it.
Yeah.
While Israel was camped at Shittim, Acacia Grove, the men began to have sex with the Moabite women.
Sorry, also called Acacia Grove. That's like such a much more pleasing name.
Yeah. Well,
we ran with the first one. Some people call it Beautiful Horizons.
It's a working title. It started when the women invited the men to their sex and religion worship.
Yeah.
Who's going to turn that down?
It's an evangelism strategy that feels like it's going to be effective.
It could be effective.
Yeah.
So then God gets mad. They ate together, worshiped their gods. They worshiped the Baal of Peor. God was furious, his anger blazing out against Israel. God said to Moses, "Take all the leaders of Israel and kill them by hanging, leaving them publicly exposed in order to turn God's anger away from Israel." Moses issued orders to the judges of Israel. "Each of you must execute the men under your jurisdiction who joined in the worship of Baal at Peor." Mm-hmm. I imagine that's how, just, what you have to do.
Yeah.
You have to execute them.
You can't be doing that stuff,
Everybody knows. So then, so just then, while everyone was weeping in penitence at the entrance of the tent of meeting, an Israelite man flaunting his behavior, I don't know exactly what that means, but I can assume, flaunting his behavior in front of Moses and the whole assembly, paraded a Midianite woman into his family tent. Phinehas, son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, saw what he was doing, grabbed his spear, and followed them into the tent. With one thrust, he drove the spear through the two of them, the man of Israel and the woman, right through their midsections. That stopped the plague from continuing among the people of Israel, but 24,000 had already died. That's our story.
Man, that verse, trying to be both delicate. People die, and they have died in this story, and that's not funny.
No, never.
But for me, the way this reads.
Okay, tell me what's more funny than genocide.
This is an Israelite that has maybe not had luck with the ladies in the past. Because that to me is the most logical reason. You're like, look who got a girl. Look who snagged a baddie. It's me.
Like, no idea what has happened.
Not reading the room.
Right.
No context.
Well, he probably just woke up like drunk, but he's got this cutie next to him. And he's like, check this out.
You guys said it would never happen.
Yeah.
And he's going around, and you're like,
Jethro's never going to believe this. Come here.
And just again, no reading of the room that like a great sin has happened and there's a punishment and we're trying to get this in order. Mm-hmm. And
poor woman, he's like, I'm going to bring you home to my tent so you can meet my family.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh yeah. She's
get to the tent.
And
spear stabbed.
I don't understand to stab both of them, they'd have to be really close.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not really.
Maybe on top of each other.
Yeah, but
how?
I don't know. One of those mysteries. God. Yeah, that one scene again. Tragic story. Not sure. People die.
People be dying.
Genuinely, that's not good. But the note that one guy wandered in,
right,
that moment,
record scratch
is kind of like.
I love it. It's very funny.
It's like your buddy who like has had this like huge crush on a girl. It's not exactly like this, but this is like a modern interpretation thing. And he can't even help himself, and he gets out of the car at school the next day, and he comes out and he's like, I made out with Jessica last night. And it's see you at the pole day. And everybody's like, oh, Mike, not the time. No. This was like the one morning. You really can't be doing that.
So the end of this chapter 25, says, God spoke to Moses, from here on, make the Midianites your enemies. Fight them tooth and nail. They turned out to be your enemies when they seduced you in the business of Peor, and that woman Cosby, daughter of Midianite leader, the woman who was killed at the time of the plague in the matter of Peor. Cosby.
Kozby.
Oh, I've got Cozbi.
Oh, okay. This is not useful at all.
They weren't using English letters anyway.
Here's what's interesting. I'm going to jump ahead a little. Because I think it makes more sense here.
Okay.
Numbers 31, which we'll cover, next episode.
Way ahead.
There's like a reference back to this. And I honestly, I'm just kind of throwing this out. I just think it's curious. Numbers 31, verse 16. They were the ones, speaking of the Midianites, who followed Balaam's advice and enticed the Israelites to be unfaithful to the Lord in the Peor incident, so that a plague struck the Lord's people. And I only say that because it's an interesting little like asterisk on this story.
Uh-huh.
Based only on the story of Balaam that we just told, it is a little hard to find something wrong that Balaam did. Mm-hmm. But you have this note later that maybe, that somewhere in there, he was like, I can't curse him. But, if somebody invited him to the Peor stuff, they'd probably go. Anyway, see you guys. It's just an interesting, did he just throw that out?
I'm sure he gets paid to curse and also do consulting work. And when he's doing his consulting work, he doesn't have to necessarily
take off my prophet hat and put on my strategy hat.
Right. I'm just speaking as a human now, and this is not on behalf of God. I signed a waiver.
I know that God is cool with some stuff and not cool with other stuff, and they might be into some stuff that God's not cool with. Somewhere in there, he says that, and that might be the thing. And I've read this that the angel interaction is like the thing he's not supposed to say. Like, you can say what God tells you to say and nothing else, but this might have been the thing that he said that was like, God has some sort of knowledge that he's going to say this, and he doesn't want him to say it. But then at the same time, again, the story. I'm just not clear why it wouldn't be presented in the story. Like when you go through and tell the story of the conversations between Balaam and Balak, why would it not be mentioned there?
I don't know.
I'm curious about that.
I don't know.
But anyway, we'll cover it in 31, but I thought it made more sense to see the full context of the story because it kind of gets thrown out in 31 with no background. Like, just like, that was Balaam's suggestion. You're like, oh, I don't know where that came, because we got a detailed story of conversations that happened and it never came out there. Anyway, that's in 25.
Borderline starting to learn something, and I'm going to put a stop to that now. Stop. Moving on to Numbers 26. This chapter is titled Census on the Plains of Moab. And yes, it's a census, so we're back to numbers and names.
But
most importantly,
it's time for everybody's favorite game. The Bible is punny.
The Bible is punny.
But real quick, I did think it was funny because they got to take a census because a bunch of people just died in a plague. And that's got to be a bummer to send that out. Like, to be like, hey guys, exciting times in the community. We're going to get a sense of who is still alive. So if everyone could fill out that form under your chair.
But honestly, if you're leading the census, I would rather do it after everybody died than before.
This information is useless now.
Just got rid of so many.
All right, the Bible is punny. If you've never seen this part of our show before, it is when we come across a chapter in the Bible that is like this. It's like, so-and-so begat so-and-so of the house of so-and-so, and so-and-so was
it's just
their
names
neighbor.
Of people and their clans, and
go in and read it. The way we make reading it more fun is we make puns out of the names that we don't know how to pronounce. If you've seen the show before, you know Tim's a lot better at me than this, but yet we persist, and I have prepared some today.
Okay. I've got a couple too. What do you want to go first?
All right, go first? Can you read verse 6 for me real quick?
Yeah. Where is it? Mine are kind of grouped in like sections, so maybe I can't.
I can pull it up.
Okay.
I can pull it up. Just give me 1 second. I'm sorry.
Oh, geez. You're not even prepared for this?
Bible app. Well, I noted it was in verse 6, but I didn't pull verse 6. Okay, ready. Through Hezron, the Hezronite clan. Through Carmi, the Carmite clan. That's verse 6.
Okay.
Here's my pun. This is actually like a conversation that happens in my house quite a bit. Rachel will be like, hey, I found my sunglasses. Do you see them anywhere? And I'll say, house doesn't have your sunglasses. Carmite.
It's good.
You can work that into your everyday language of like, is kitchen doesn't, but Carmite.
All right, well, I'll go. My first one is close to that. It's around verse like 9 through 11. So,
okay.
The sons of Eliab, Nemuel, Dathan, and Abiram. These were the same Dathan and Abiram.
Okay.
Community leaders from Korah's gang. Okay. All right. Bartender. Here's the scene.
Oh yeah.
This is how I do. Bartender goes back to the bar owner, the manager. Hey, this kid came in and doesn't look 21 yet, and he says he doesn't have an ID. The owner says, on the one hand, I don't want to get my license taken away.
Sure.
And on the other, he looks like he could be old enough. The bartender says, okay, what do you want me to do?
Right.
The owner says, beer him.
That's a good twist on the beer me from The Office.
Yeah.
Beer him.
Beer him.
That's really good. All right. My next one is from verse 13 through Zerah, the Zerahite clan, through Shaul, the Shaulite clan.
Okay. What verse is that, by the way?
13. Verse 13.
Okay.
This is I'm trying to copy you. This is at a theme park. This conversation takes place. You walk up to the worker there and you say, "Hey man, can anyone ride this roller coaster, or is there a height requirement?" Zera height.
I like that. You're getting good at these.
I felt good about today's actually.
Yeah.
I was feeling strong.
Yeah.
Is there a height requirement in it?
Okay, this one might be my worst one, maybe of all time. Okay, so here's the scene. It's a desperate son and a real Southern dad.
I like when accents get
they require the accents.
Yeah.
The desperate son says, Dad, I can pick up a donkey. Watch. And the dad says, nah, son, I don't care too much. Watch you pick up donkeys. And the son says, but Dad, look, watch me pick up this little donkey up. And he picks up the animal. What do you think? And Dad says, nah, son, that's a baby of a horse and a donkey. And in other words, dang it, I forgot to read what verse it was.
Restart.
Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry.
Men in Black Flash.
I got so excited.
You've heard nothing so far.
All right. The sons of, is verse like 12 and 14. The sons of Simeon by clans, Nemuel and the Nemuelite clan. Okay. Okay. So kid says I can pick up a donkey. Dad says, no, I don't care. It said, but then he picks it up and says, look, I picked up this little donkey.
Yeah.
And Dad says, nah, son, there's a baby of a horse and a donkey. In other words, Nemuel. Even worse, you didn't even pick up a heavy one. Nemuelite. Nemuelite.
The accent's good. Southern accent is by far your strongest.
Well, thank you.
It almost feels like a little bit of a heart language whenever you say it. It's like that wants to come out of you more often.
Oh, my wife loves it.
I'm sure she does. How could you not? Verse 23 is my next one, and I'm also going to introduce an accent.
Oh, yes.
The descendants of Issachar by their clans were through Tola, the Tolite clan, through Pua, the Puite clan. Verse 20. That's verse 23. And this is, I'm not doing a scene. I don't know why I'm trying to do scenes like you do now. But here's the pun. Excuse me, did you just butt? That is not polite. From Pua, the Puite clan. That is not polite.
That's really good. All right, my next one. I think I've got two more.
I got one more bad one.
Okay. All right. So my next one, it's from one of these. Anyway, Jamin and the Jaminite clan. Mm-hmm. Boy walks up to a sidewalk musician. Says, sir, you're already packing up. You're packing up now. You only played one song. And the musician said, that's right, kid. I'm a one Jaminite kind of guy. That one I felt like was one that you would do. I channeled my Anthony for
one Jaminite kind of guy. I would have went with like a sugarized fruit in a can, but I would have done. That's very much one I would have done. You're gonna hate this one. Verse 38: The descendants of Benjamin by their clans were through Bela, the Belite clan, through Ashbel, the Ashbelite clan, through Ahiram, the Ahiramite clan. And the pun is, man, Twilight is so good. Jacob is great. Edward is awesome. Belite. Belite.
Why would I hate that? That's good.
I didn't know how
I know the names of people.
Twilight names you were.
You didn't do a deep dive. There's three characters.
I went with the top ones. Yeah, that was good. That's it for me.
All right. So my last one it comes from verses 35 to 37. The sons of Ephraim by their clans, Shuthelah and the Shuthelite clan. Shuthelah. There's like a lot of H's in here. Yeah. Shuthelah and the Shuthelite clan.
Sure.
Dad enters the room. Says, come on, kids, it's time for bed. And the kids go, oh, Dad, can we please stay up a little longer? And Dad says, no, girls, now go put down your books and shut the light off. Shut the light.
Shut the door. Shut the light off.
I could have done a Jamaican accent.
Shut the door.
That's all I got. So anyway, that's the rest of the chapter. That's been The Bible is Punny.
Great job. Mm-hmm. Bible is Punny yet again. It's a great way to get through those name heavy chapters.
Yeah. Numbers 27. The daughters of Zelophehad.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, not a ton here. It's a very short
chapter.
little chapter. But yeah. You have anything for it? Because there's not a ton here.
I do. So let me give you just a brief ovary. I think that's like a Freudian slip based on this story. Let me give you a brief overview.
Yeah. That's for you to us.
See what I did?
You to us.
A man dies, I believe in the plague potential. I don't know.
I would have called that like a fallopian slip.
Not specified. Somebody dies, and they're doing this census, and they're kind of like through the census, they're allocating land and making sure it's kind of like a rebalancing of resources and stuff like that. And so this man has died. He had no sons. He had only daughters. And the daughters approach the leaders of Israel, and they say, "Hey, under our current laws, we're not allotted any land. We would like to get our father's land. There's no reason our family name should be lost. We are perfectly capable of kind of carrying that on." It's an interesting story to be in here for a couple of reasons. A quick note in verse 3, I liked. They're describing their problem to the leadership. They say, "Our father died in the wilderness. He was not among Korah's followers who banded together against the Lord, but he died because of his own sins, and then he left no sons." And I just like the way that was presented as like he didn't remember that really bad thing. You guys, everybody was talking about how bad that thing was. He was not involved in that.
He had his own sins.
He did some money laundering.
But he died. Let's just say that.
What I think that stenographer, if she's making notes, is that he was not one of Korah's followers, and that should be noted.
Yeah. Don't forget.
So it's like attach. I think there's a lesson here in like just attach yourself not to something terrible, and make that very clear. I had nothing to do with that awful thing that happened. That was terrible. I certainly had my share of things I did wrong, but I want to be clear about the thing I wasn't involved in. And I think all of us can just hope as parents, that's what our kids do for us when we're gone. It's like the major atrocity they didn't do that.
No.
Yeah, they were messed up in all kinds of other ways, but I want to be clear about that. It just made me laugh in 3.
Oh, go ahead.
I just said no. And then my other thing was, so what's kind of cool about this story is Moses, hears them out, talks to God and says like, yes, like you're right. This isn't at its best. This practice is not at its best. And so what's going to happen now is if a person dies, and they don't have any sons, it's going to go to the daughters. And you just read it and you're like, this is cool. This is ancient times. I'm going to go out on a limb and guess, but feel fairly confident that there was like regularly the practices of the area were not super helpful for women. There was probably very little progress being made in women being able to be landowners or all those different things. So you have this kind of cool moment. You don't get to celebrate it too long in verse 8 because they're like dictating this. They say to the Israelites, if a man dies and leaves no son, give his inheritance to his daughter. And that's the one where you're like, come on, that's cool. Good on you. And then 9, if he has no daughter, give his inheritance to his brother. So I guess that makes sense. He might have a sister. Well, we're going to skip that. If he has no brothers, give his inheritance to his father's brothers. Okay. So well, his father doesn't have a brother. Maybe he has an aunt or something. Yeah, we'll skip that. If his father had no brothers, give his inheritance to the nearest relative in the clan that he may possess it. So while the women are definitely built in now to the system, it's really just on the one rung, and then the rest of the rungs are still got to go to a dude. But there's a shot now. If you're a daughter, you're gonna get it. If you're an aunt or
sister, no,
just a relative in any way, it's not looking good. That made me giggle.
Good. We go through Numbers 28. Numbers 28 is there's not much here. Like I take that back. It's just kind of a recap of like the previous couple of books of the Bible. And it's Moses recapping some of the same stuff to the Israelites, what to do for Passover, for birthdays and mitzvahs and all that. But I want to go back to, so I there wasn't much there for me in 28, but back in 27, we sort of, we end 27 in this, I think, kind of a funny way. In verses 12 through 14, God says to Moses, climb up into the Abarim mountains and look over at the land that I'm giving to the people of Israel. When you've had a good look, you'll be joined by your ancestors in the grave. Yes, you also, along with Aaron, your brother. This goes back to the day. So God says, you're going to get a look at it, and then I'm going to kill you. oh, okay. And then God says, this goes back to the day when the congregation quarreled in the wilderness of Zin, and you didn't honor me in the holy reverence before them in the matter of the waters of Meribah quarreling at Kadesh in the wilderness of Zin. And it sounds a little maybe petty at this point for God to go, oh yeah, I am going to kill you. That's what I'm gonna get you to walk up there and see that stuff, and I'm gonna kill you. Let me remind you why I'm gonna kill you. Because you hit that rock. You remember when you hit that rock? That's why.
I don't want you to think this is just a willy-nilly kill.
No.
This is
willy-nilly kill.
I want you to know it's connected.
Sure. Could I, do something to get you over there? Could I like usher you? Yeah. We did the whole thing with the water parting, that was kind of a big deal. I don't really feel like it.
Not doing that.
No, because you hit that rock. Remember when you hit that rock?
You know what you did. The mountain becomes this character a little bit like the farm in the sky, of like, so Moses, it's time to head up the mountain, bud. Because a couple chapters ago I was like, Aaron, you ready to get up on that mountain? No, I feel good. No, you don't. It's time to go up the mountain. Tickle in your throat, don't you? It's time to go up the mountain.
Take your clothes off.
Your intro was kind of funny to me because it was like, there's not much happening for our purposes, but Moses dies, which is like pretty significant. Well, I don't think he dies. I think he's beginning the process of transferring leadership to Joshua.
Yeah, God's telling him.
He goes over.
He's like telling him what he's going to happen and whatever. So
it's a significant thing, but the mountain. Yeah, I got to take you. Or maybe it's the old Yeller behind the woodshed situation of like, time to go up the mountain. And that's where he goes.
And that's
it. His last trip up the mountain. Moses has made 8,000 trips up the mountain at this point. But that's it.
Yeah.
That's through Numbers 28.
We're cruising, man.
We're flying. We got one more Numbers pod. Mm-hmm. Numbers does go on.
But we get these gems like Balaam.
For sure.
Thank you, Numbers.
Yeah. Balaam's great.
Showing up.
It's a fascinating little story. Mm-hmm. I think it does some things to your brain about how you process what is going on in the other parts of the world at this point. To me, that's the most interesting part of this. Balaam is talking to God, and what's he doing with that information? They're reading it as like sorcery, which checks out. Like that's going to be their word for it. Mm-hmm. But we're told in this verse that it is through a communication with God.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Yeah, it's great. Little gems in books like Numbers. Did you learn anything else today you want to talk about?
Oh, no. No, only that my wife is godlike.
That's right.
That's it. That's the only takeaway. That's
what you always say.
Yeah, and since she listens to the podcast all the time.
She does. Shouts out.
She's going to hear it.
Shouts out.
Love you.
I just want to say again, I want to reiterate, I know it was a later point, but I do like what the daughters did in chapter 27. I think associate yourself not with bad things. And that's important to do, mm-hmm. Like when you're like, I tell you what, I've been to Italy, but I had nothing to do with Vesuvius. I wasn't even there.
Of all the things.
I would have told somebody. If I had known, I would have told somebody, but I wasn't there. So.
Like the eruption?
Volcano eruption. Yeah. That Titanic is terrible. I would have turned that thing around. I know that was my choice. And everybody's like, yeah, seems like a good guy.
Yeah. At least he didn't do that. I didn't do 9/11. I didn't orchestrate it. Okay.
That's right. He's nothing to do with it.
Aren't I a decent human?
Isn't that cool? No. Like, isn't that a positive thing? Like, man, yeah. Yeah, he didn't have anything to do with it.
But then when you say it, you're like, wait a minute. But why did you point that out? Maybe you did have something to do with it.
That one made me suspicious right away. Mm-hmm. Maybe because we're like not sure how far the web goes, but that's good policy. Just talk about bad things that happen and how you're not responsible for them.
Smart. Good takeaway.
It will minimize whatever you did wrong. You're like, I didn't take out the garbage, sure, but
I also didn't do 9/11,
which seems like a bigger deal that I kept my hands clean on that one. Right? So maybe I don't have to take out garbage anymore. Don't overreach. Anyway, that's Numbers 22 through 28. Let us know what you thought. If we missed anything we need to talk about, let us know who you thought had the best puns on this episode. And anything else you want to share. You can let us know in the comments or if you listen to this podcast or on Instagram at The Bible is Funny. you can get a hold of us there. Mm-hmm. Look in the show notes. We have a shop where you can buy the Bible's Funny Podcast hat. You can buy card games. You can buy greeting cards, all kinds of stuff. Check that out. And we'll be back here with another episode real soon. And we'll talk to you then. Mm-hmm. Okay? Be safe out there.
Okay, love
get
you,
home
bye.
safe. Text us when you get home. Love you. Bye.